2024 CR 5903, State versus Jason Noel Gonzalez. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Ashley Jones for the state.
Zachary Munoz for the defense.
And are you Mr. Gonzalez?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, have you received all of the discovery and did you review it with your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Gonzalez, did you review the document entitled Application for Deferred Adjudication with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you review the true bill of indictment with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, Your Honor, we do.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Gonzalez, did you review the document entitled Court Admonishments and Defendants Waivers and Affidavit of Admonitions with your attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, did you understand that you're charged with the offense of robbery?
Yes, ma'am.
That's a second-degree felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 20 years in prison and up to $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
If you have a plea with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call and the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by entering this plea, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand if the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty and sentence you up to 20 years in prison and up to $10,000 fine? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, Your Honor. He's
Did-
competent.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
I do, Your Honor.
Do you believe he was sane at the time of the offense?
I do believe he was.
Mr. Gonzalez, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter the plea?
No, ma'am.
Anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
According to the plea, the state is recommending deferred adjudication. They're taking in consideration JN 2155081, and there's an affirmative finding of family violence. Did you understand with an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand with an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to be designated as primary custodial parent?
Ma'am.
Did you understand that to be the entirety of your plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense is at the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
State is at the plea.
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Outside the agreement, the state is requesting that your community supervision be for a term of 5 years. There be 90 days of electronic monitoring. There be no contact with the complainant, and there's an agreed protective order. Did you understand that?
Yes,
Those are
ma'am.
recommendations from the state, and the court does not have to follow those recommendations.
Yes, ma'am.
Then to the offenses charge, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Guilty.
State, any evidence?
Your Honor, state would offer State's Exhibit 1 and all attachments.
No objection, Your Honor.
All right. And state, have you spoken with the complainant?
We have, Your Honor.
And they're aware of this agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, you may be excused.
Oh, thank you, Judge.
Did you review the document entitled Waiver and Consent to Stipulation of Testimony and Stipulations with your attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports? But most importantly, there'll be no live testimony. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence States Exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. All right, after reviewing States Exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will defer finding of guilt as you've applied for deferred adjudication. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor. We are asking the court waive PSI. We do
Anything
have-
you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Yes, Your Honor. I believe this situation arose due to a bad relationship My client understands what he did was wrong, is asking the court to follow the agreement of 5 years deferred. He's also part of that agreement. He has signed a protective order. He has no issues and does not want to obviously violate that order, has no wishes to be with that woman any longer. And he's trying to do his best to start a new path. He is relatively a young man and he wants to get on the right path here. Your Honor, I'd also ask, he has been on full GPS house arrest. While this bond's been, while this case has been pending. I know part of the deal was full house arrest for 90 days. He is living with his mother. However, his mother's having a hard time, meet the obligations because he was helping out with some of the rent, some of the obligations. He has secured a job at Renee's Affordable Lawn Care and Landscape. I do have a letter from them. However, it's not dated nor signed, so I asked for a better copy. They're working on getting that to me. But he is working there, or going to be working there from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. and then potentially some Saturday mornings as well.
All right. How old are you?
23.
Do you have any children?
2 boys.
And are these children, is the complainant in this case the mother of those children?
No, ma'am.
So you don't have any children with her?
You have to
Yes or no?
respond
No,
verbally,
ma'am.
sir.
No, ma'am.
All right. And what is this 207 on your neck for?
Just my area code.
You can remember that? So why did you take her vehicle?
Come again?
Why did you take her vehicle?
Oh, because she had let me use it to get my ID. But I guess she found out that I was talking to other females, so I guess she said no.
No. That's not what this says. This says that you came up to her, you punched her and took the car keys and left, and you told her, "Don't worry, I'll bring it back." And then when the police interviewed you, you admitted to pushing her and taking the car keys, and you said you took her vehicle because you needed to run a few personal errands. So that wasn't your vehicle, was it?
No, ma'am.
So what errands were so important that you decided to punch someone in the mouth and take their car keys and leave?
I didn't punch him, but I needed to get my ID.
So you stole a vehicle.
No.
Well, I mean, you want a jury trial? Because he's telling me he didn't commit this offense.
Yes.
Yes, what?
I took her car and all that.
Without her permission.
Yes, ma'am.
So what is it you don't understand when people don't want you anymore? Because she doesn't want to be in a relationship with you anymore. Maybe it's because you didn't have a job with her. I don't know why, but she does not want to be in a relationship with you. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
And you probably shouldn't be in a relationship with anyone until you get your life together. And obviously you have anger issues. I've never seen so many men in this day and age not working, and people are still, and they're able to work, and people are just tolerating this nonsense where men, they date them and they don't have a job. They don't have a vehicle. Oh, you can use my vehicle. Don't worry, be lazy, don't work. This is what I'm telling you in this court. I require adults to be employed. And I'm not going to let you work at this landscaping business, because here's the thing about the landscaping business. That means that he can be anywhere all over town on GPS. The court doesn't know. She doesn't know where he is. He can perhaps end up landscaping wherever she is, and it'll be okay because he's in the landscaping business. I think that the landscaping business is the new West telemarketing. Everybody who's on probation says they're doing landscaping. So he's going to have to get another job. Have you ever worked before?
Yes.
Doing what?
At the Modatron, making the noodles or the soups.
All right. So he needs to have employment at a place where there is a stable location. Now, once he's been on probation for a while, I may reconsider. How far did you go in school?
Not far.
What does that mean?
Maybe to the 10th grade.
Well, maybe to the 10th grade, or did you not get to the 10th grade?
I did, and then I dropped off.
Why did you drop out?
I had a kid at a young age.
So you had a child at a young age?
Yes, ma'am.
What age were you?
Like 14, 15,
And how old is that child?
10,
And so you said you have two children. What are their ages?
got a 6-year-old and a 10-year-old.
And do you support them financially?
No, ma'am.
When's the last time you paid any child support for them?
I'm not on child support.
All right, see, that's another thing. Have your rights been terminated?
Nope.
So let me just tell you, part of your conditions of probation that people tend to ignore, but it's not ignored in this court, you have to support your dependents. So that means that 6-year-old and 10-year-old, if you want to do adult things and have children, even though you're 14 when you're doing it, I don't know where people's parents are, where 14-year-olds are having children, but you're going to have to pay for those children because guess what? In the United States, unless they're going to be actors or something, that 6-year-old and that 10-year-old don't have a job. They can't support themselves. You can't just put them out in the world and say, go forth and support yourself. That's not how it works. So you're going to have to get employment, and you're going to have to get employment enough so you can support them. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you seen them recently?
Nope.
All right. All right, this is what the court is going to do. Court has sentenced you to 6 years deferred adjudication. Okay. There's going to be partial GPS, waive fees, and that's to be for employment only. There's an agreed protective order. There's to be no contact with Mary Alice Trevino Washburn. There's to be proof of employment within 45 days. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. There's to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person. There's going to be a gang evaluation. There's going to be 300 hours of community service restitution. 100 of those hours will be waived upon completion of parenting classes. 200 hours will be waived if he obtains his GED or some sort of trade school certificate. Field visits, one time per month until further notice. And of course, probation, if he is a member of a gang, then gang supervision will take care of the field visits. There's an affirmative finding of family violence. Taking consideration JN 2155081. And there should be the BIPP course. Probation, is there anything else?
If you want the GED or trade school as a part of his condition.
Yes, it's going to be a part of his condition, but once he completes it, either one, then 200 hours of community service will be waived. And parenting classes are a part of his condition as well. And once he completed, the 100 hours will be waived. And there should be no unsupervised contact with minors.
I'm sorry.
No unsupervised contact with minors until further notice. Probation, is there anything else he needs? Is there any?
Random wage, right?
Yes.
Right. Nothing else, does.
Is there anything else you need from the court to be successful?
No, ma'am.
All
Just-
right.
Just
Yes.
to clarify, on the no supervision, no unsupervised supervision with the children. If for any reason the mother of the child were to seek to put them on child support, and obviously that would include a custody. If there's a court order for custody that doesn't involve that, would this order with no supervision still apply, or would the new?
No, this
Okay.
order will apply. If he wants that change, he'll have to come back to court.
Thank you.
All right. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we can go off the record. Here's the thing. You have engaged in adult activities, so now it's your turn to be a man. You understand?
Yes,
That
ma'am.
means get employment and take care of your dependents. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, in this case, what I can tell you, and we're off the record, if you violate this, what will end up happening is you're potentially looking at 20 years in the prison. Do you understand? All right. And if you're drug tested today, are you going to be positive for anything?
This for marijuana.
All right, Ms. Abrams, make sure that he's tested for levels. He says he's going to be positive for marijuana. There's no marijuana use that is allowed in Texas. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
The only exception is if you have a prescription. All right, good luck to you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.